Hi and welcome to the first of two videos on how to silence your chatterbox and crush overwhelm instantly. I'm Tanya and I'm so excited you're joining me here, and I'm going to show you my simple two-step process to getting clear on your thoughts. If you haven't already done so, I want you to print off the flowchart that's in the email. It should look something like this. There you go. And if you can't print it off at the moment, don't worry, you can print it up later, and it's a great tool to use as you get used to using this process. So let's get started, and let me bring up the right screen here. Now what I want you to do whilst I'm zooming in is I want you to think about something that's perhaps been on your mind for a while, something that's been going around in your head that's worrying you. Don't make it too complicated. We don't want to cause any more overwhelm than it's necessary. And we're going to start off here. So here we are with the thought and worry. Now then, the quickest way to sort through your thoughts and to get clear is to immediately ask yourself, is what I'm thinking real? Now what I mean by this is, do you have all the facts? Is it 100% true what you're thinking about and what's bothering you? That thought that's keeping you awake late at night, it's in your mind when you get up in the morning and you just can't get rid of it during the day. It's awful, I know. Now, if you immediately say, well, no, it's not really real, or I'm not sure, that's okay. Just stop. I want you to write it down, because it is important, the thought, but I just want you to shelve it for now and bring yourself back to the now. And we're going to deal with that in video 2, and I promise I'll help you get clear on dealing with thoughts that you're not sure are real. Now, coming back to the thought that is real, and if you were having one that wasn't real, just bring one up from the past. We've got thousands of thoughts that drive us mad, so I'm sure you can choose one that possibly is real. It doesn't have to be 100% real, but it's based on real facts. So the answer is yes. Is it real? Yes. Okay, now the most important question to ask yourself next is what I'm thinking based on the past? And what I mean by that is has it happened in the past? Have you been through a similar situation in the past? And that is now affecting how you're feeling in the present. If the answer is yes to that, now I want you to straight away stop that thought. And I want you to imagine that there was a different outcome in the past, because what's happening is the thought you're having now that's based on the past is your feelings are being affected because of the perhaps negative outcome that happened in the past. So if you can immediately change in your imagination to a better outcome in the past, that's going to help you in the present. And you can work on that at a much deeper level with more, upsetting, maybe traumatic events that you've been through and can be worked on at a deeper level. But for now, I just want you to say, okay, yes, it's based on the past, stop, and I'm going to imagine a different positive outcome. And I want you to trust yourself that this outcome is actually possible. And believe it or not, you can actually change the outcome of the past by doing this. But you need a bit more help to do that. So for now, just trust yourself that it's a positive outcome and bring yourself back to the now. Now then, if we go back to, is it based on the past, and your answer is no, that brings us down to the next section. So, okay, the thought's true, but it's not based on the past. So ask yourself again, is there a possible different outcome that I could choose from this? Not the worrying negative outcome that you are projecting into at the moment. Now, if the answer is no, because it's real, it's maybe already happened, or it's going to happen 100%, then the quickest way for you to heal is to get yourself from where you are to a point of acceptance, which is over on the right hand side of the flowchart. The sooner you get yourself to acceptance, and that's saying, okay, this has happened, there's absolutely nothing I can do about it, I've tried bargaining, I've been in denial that it's happening, I've been angry, I've been upset. Now I'm just at acceptance. And you have to go through all these processes. It's part of the grief cycle, however small the issue is or however big. But the sooner you can get to acceptance, the quicker you're going to heal and move forward with your life. So acceptance, then you need to move through to forgiveness. You may not be ready to forgive the person or the actual event totally. I do understand that, but try and forgive the situation in general. Just try and change your focus onto one of a loving, forgiving emotion around it is probably the best way to say it. And then trust yourself that you are going to cope. You will get through this and you will have a brighter outcome. And then bring yourself back to the now. Now, bring yourself back to the now is the most important part of this process, and I'll explain that again at the end. So let's go back now to the different possible outcome, and you're able to say, yes, I can choose a different outcome. So I want you to just pick one out of the air, a different positive outcome, and I want you to go with that, and I want you to trust yourself that this is possible. And then I want you to bring yourself back to the now. Okay, so we've gone through that quite quickly, but you can go through it more slowly in your own time. But I just want to give you an example of how this process works. Just imagine that you haven't heard from a friend for a while and you're worrying. You feel uncomfortable about it, you've got that nervous knot in your stomach, it's keeping you awake at night. And the more you think about it, the bigger the story grows, the worse you feel, and you almost feel frozen, you don't know what to do about the situation. Now, if you go back to the actual initial thought, not the one that you built it up into, but the initial thought and worry. So, I haven't heard from my friend. That's real. The next part though is perhaps you're thinking, oh, I've done something to upset them. Now, is that real? Have you actually done something in your mind that has or could be upsetting? If the answer to that is no, or I'm not sure, then you stop, make a note of it. And as I said, we'll go into that in more detail in the next video, and I promise you will get clear on that. But if the answer is yes, and you know that perhaps you've said or done something that, it's wasn't the best thing, you then need to ask yourself, hang on, is the way I'm feeling though, because of what I've done, based on something that's happened in the past? Have you maybe done something similar or found yourself in a similar situation? And if the answer is yes to that, then immediately stop. Because what you're thinking about, or what you're thinking the outcome is going to be of your present worry, is actually based on the outcome of your issue or experience in the past. Therefore, it's not real anymore, it's in the past. So if you can do one or two things, you can stop, you can imagine a different outcome, which will support you in the present, or you can just continue and you can just say, okay, it's based on the past, or it's not based on the past. Either way, I'm going to choose a different possible outcome, if this is possible. So, say for example, your friend hasn't phoned you, and you're worrying that it's something you've done. Could you change the outcome to the fact that maybe they're really busy, they're not very well, or they're actually waiting to hear from you, and you've forgotten that because you've been so busy yourself? Now, that's an example of choosing a different outcome. So just choose one of them and go with it, and trust that the first thought that comes into your mind is actually the real one. And 9 times out of 10, you probably are right. And then bring yourself back to the now. Now, if your thought is real, you haven't heard from your friend, yes, I have done something a bit daft. No, it's not based on the past, and there isn't actually anything I can do about it to change it. And I'm sure there probably is, but just for the sake of this example, then again, the quicker that you can go from where you are through to acceptance and forgiveness and trust, the sooner you will heal. And it's quite interesting when you do get to yourself to that point, that you can actually heal the situation anyway. And you'll see that happening the more you apply it to your life. But as I said before, the most important part of this process is bringing yourself back to the now. You get the thought, is it real, is it not real? Filter through, bring yourself to the best possible outcome, and then bring yourself back to the now. Because in the now is all you've got. If you are still with your mind in the past, then you are living in an area of depression. If you are projecting and creating stories and worrying about the future, then this is where you create overwhelm, and it's the worst way to exacerbate anxiety. So stop, bring yourself back to the now, and focus on what you're doing. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you were able to apply it to a thought. If you weren't, because it's a new process, that's fine. Just go away in between now and the next video. Just write down your thoughts that are worrying, and then just follow through the chart. Is it real? Is it not real? Yes, based on the past. No. Can I give it a different outcome? And so on and so forth. Right, brilliant. I'm going to bring myself back out now to the webcam screen, if I can work this one out. I laugh every single time. There I am. Yay! Okay, and I will look forward to speaking to you again in the next video. So that'll be video 2 on how to silence your chatterbox and crush overwhelm instantly. And we'll be going through those thoughts that possibly aren't real, you're not sure, and we'll get clear on those. So if you have any questions, please email me at tanya@freedomfromanxiety.uk. I would love to hear from you. And if there's anything that you know you need to work on, or you would like to ask me anything that I can share with another video, great, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, bye for now. Lots of love.